Welcome to the Goddess Show podcast, voices of visionary women, inspiring female leaders by interviewing amazing guests to encourage us all to rise up. Enjoy. Well, hello and welcome to the Goddess Show podcast, voices of visionary women, inspiring female leaders. And I'm so happy to have a very special guest all the way from Canada today. And her name is Jessica Glowackii. So welcome, Jessica.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Now, I'm going to tell our viewers and listeners all about you. Jessica Glowackii is the founder of exclamation mark. It is an app, the first launch of her culture first, no algorithm, social platform and brand, exclamation mark, is redefining how people connect, championing Canadian culture, supporting local creators and small businesses, and responding to the growing need for connection over clout, which we see so much of these days. Since its August launch, it's seen rapid growth, proving that community-driven social networks can thrive. And this is why I'm so pleased to have you today, Jessica, because I think that philosophy is really, really vital at this moment in history where, we're filled, everything is so busy with clout, isn't it?
Mhm. It is, yeah. It's a bit draining. A bit draining to, get stuck on your phone, and get sucked into what people should be and how do you get ahead and how do you, show your face on online. It can be really hard on people's mental health.
Absolutely. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with our first question here. What would you say? And I think this is important for most of our viewers and listeners coming from a personal perspective. What would you say are some of the biggest personal obstacles you've overcome on your way to success, and how did you do it?
Yeah, I think, when I went into school, I went into computer science, and I was one of 20 women within the class of 200. And so,
Wow.
ever since I first started my career, I have been one of the minorities, in the group, and that has sort of rolled over into any company I've worked for. I started off as an engineer, and there were very few women working in engineering.
Good for
Uh,
you.
yeah, it was a journey. And then at some point I decided to sort of shift over. I wanted to have more of a leadership role and really be able to drive some of the work that was going forward. So I moved into project management. And, I had, one of the leaders in the company come up to me at a Christmas party and say, when I first met you, I thought you were a bitch. And, a lot of that was because I was trying to come on and trying to structure what they were doing. And I was speaking to an all male audience. And they wouldn't have said that if it was another male, but because I was female, it came across as me not being polite and being a woman.
Mm. So, because of course, when women are assertive, they're seen as aggressive, aren't they? Whereas when
Yeah,
men are assertive, it's a great thing. And
absolutely.
also, did you get the impression that the higher up you rose, they couldn't see why, how, and why you did it? You want to tell us
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, throughout my career, and I sort of, I've said this before, is that no less than 5 times have I been accused of sleeping with the boss, because I was doing a good job and I was being noticed. And it really undermines the actual work and skill that I had. Very frustrating. And you don't get, and I think you also don't get the support, when you move up into leadership and you're the only woman there, you're not seen as an equal
No,
in a
no.
lot of ways.
It certainly
Yeah.
sounds like it. And I'm really glad you're talking about this today because I think it's important. So thank you
hmm
for sharing that. So now I'd love to hear about your business and your app. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yeah. So, earlier this year, with sort of the changing landscape in the world, we decided, yeah, I kind of thought, well, why doesn't Canada, first of all, have its own social media. We all, a lot across the world rely on Silicon Valley apps to define our social media and they're all global. And so my idea was to take an app and build it specifically for Canada. Now, we didn't want to have it just for Canadians to be sort of exclusive. We wanted to be somewhere where you could go as a tourist or, a new immigrant or anything like that that might, want to come and explore and see what's happening in Canada. And so we're kind of built on three pillars, which is building community. You can connect with people in your city, you can explore other cities, economic growth, so providing, the ability for people to find each other through, finding small businesses if you want to buy Canadian, and then tourism. So people who might want to come in and see what's happening and really find a place they might want to visit.
That sounds fantastic. Those three pillars are awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's great, and I can't wait to see it all around the world,
Mm-hmm.
to have that local community-driven app that everyone can connect to. Sounds
Yes.
awesome. So tell me, what were the first few steps you took to get your business up and running?
Yeah, that this part was tough for me. I've spent my entire year or my entire sort of career in corporate, and so I haven't really had that experience of being an entrepreneur. I mean, I've been lucky to know people that have been in that same, been in that space, but what was frustrating for me was not being able to just go and to just be successful, and having to know all parts of the business. You may have a good
Mm,
product, but
mm.
if you don't understand marketing and you don't understand finance and you don't have understand these other different pieces, you can stall. And so really having to kind of learn and pick up those things and go, and you're starting from scratch. So you have to build connections. And I think that's key in really trying to make a business successful is like reaching out to people,
Yeah,
asking if they know someone they can intro you to, and just really sort of knowing people are usually there to help.
yeah.
They want to help. And I think going in with that mindset, it helps.
Well, that's really great advice, and I think I can certainly relate to the trial and error of starting something when you don't know it, you've never done it before. And I think
Mhm.
it's important for our listeners and viewers to know that it doesn't happen overnight. There are many aspects to running a business, and you can't be good at everything. So, so it
Yes,
takes heart.
very true.
It takes heart.
Yes, very true.
Okay, so my next question to you, Jessica, is why are you passionate about it?
Yeah, I mean, just for my background, I spent, about 11 years at Lululemon, which was a very community-driven culture, grassroots, kind of from the ground up. And then I moved over to Reddit, Reddit being a Silicon Valley innovation first type company. And what I found is that the culture was very abrasive. And there was sort of a trade-off of innovation over quality.
Wow.
Uh, and I wanted to create something. And the other thing too is just around algorithms, is how manipulative they can be,
Right, right.
and they will show you things that get attention. And I wanted to bring it back to sort of the original Facebook, where you went online, you posted something silly, you connected with your friends, and so really trying to bring that feeling back,
Mm.
in a way that is, what you're getting. It's
Yeah,
chronological. You know what you're getting, and you can build your own following feed, and it's discoverable versus something being pushed in front of you.
yeah. And a lot of that's happening in social media at the moment, isn't it?
It
So
is.
that's
Yeah.
really fantastic.
Yeah.
And I suppose
Yeah.
it's a different philosophy too, that
It is because it's meant to be instead of, where I think social media started as a social network where it was about connection. It morphed into social media, which is getting your face visible, getting your message out there, and having to, work within an algorithm that's constantly changing. And it makes people not feel like people anymore. You
exactly.
don't have that connection to people. You may follow them, you may like their content, but you don't actually have a connection to them. And that's the feeling we wanted to bring back.
I'm so happy that you're doing that. And I know that, I mean, how do you feel? Our listeners and viewers, we'd love to hear from you because it's so important. I mean, these days everything is virtual. You get on a train or on public transport, everyone is on their phone. They don't even
Yeah.
look at each other. People are
Mhm.
forgetting how to actually interact, you know? So
Mhm.
I think what you're doing is really important. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell
And I
me,
think, oh, yeah, go ahead.
go
I was
on.
going to just add, I think I was just going to add one thing is just that, when you're talking to your audience and, you're talking about how to start a business and you can blast things into social media, you can pay for the advertising, you can do all those things, but it actually does come down to connecting with your audience.
Yeah.
And however you can do that will help you a long way.
Yeah, it all comes down to relationships, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell me, what have been your biggest challenges so far on this journey with EH exclamation mark?
Yeah, I think, for me, not being able to move as fast as I wanted, having to rely on others to do some of the work, and, just having to that. And I think too is again, I haven't been in the ecosystem that I'm in now, which is a lot of it's a startup world, it's entrepreneurship, and the people who have been in it for years have a lot of connections. I
Mm,
don't. I haven't been in this. So I am trying to forage my way and find these new connections, whereas some other people have been able to do that. So it requires a lot of networking. It
yeah,
requires going to
yeah,
events and to
yeah.
be social as an introvert. You know. And so that is something that it's just that's what needs to happen. You have to get yourself out there and you have to be the face of your product or your
Yeah,
company.
yeah, absolutely.
It's only you that can tell it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And those
Mhm.
elevator pitches and but I'm just wondering because I do know that, for instance, here in Sydney,
Mhm.
there are tech startup hubs,
Yeah.
that promote and support young tech startups. Do you have that sort of situation where you are?
Well, first of all, thank you for calling me young.
Well, I mean, new
But
startups,
yeah, no, no, I mean there's a lot of different options, and I think like I'm part of a program, for example, I applied to be part of an impact program. So as a company that is trying to promote social impact, I've gone through one phase of it. I'm now in another phase where we're looking at raising money. But the first phase was really just making sure you're validating your product and your business model and it seems like this is something that is actually going to succeed because you really have to think about your business holistically. What is
Mm,
that business model? How
mm,
are you going to go from point A to point B?
yeah.
And you have to think through all those little things that are going to help get you there.
That's really great advice. Thank you, Jessica.
Mhm.
So tell me, well, it sounds like my next question is, have you overcome these challenges? And if so, how did you do it? And I think you're on your way, aren't you?
On my way, but I mean, I think it's there are challenges along the way. We face competition. In whatever business you're in, you kind of face this competition and you want to get ahead of that competition. And
Mm,
so it means trying to think strategically and trying to think how can I get what are these little things that I can do to be better than the person that or not person but company that I want to match with. What's my differentiator?
Your
What's,
unique selling proposition.
yeah,
Is
what's going to
that's
make
what
people
you're
want?
referring to? That's
Yeah.
great. Okay, well, that's a really important point, isn't it? Competition. It's good to
Hmm.
know who's out there, that's for sure. So
Hmm.
tell me, how do you keep motivated through difficult times?
There are ups and downs. You need to take care of yourself as well. It's very easy to spend 24/7 on your business, and at some point you're not productive. And the biggest thing that actually has helped me is actually to get back into a fitness routine because I was getting, by the end of the day, my eyes were glazing over. I couldn't, I couldn't think straight. And when you're in that, you're not as productive as you could be.
Mm,
So really being able to kind of balance your passion and that thing that you want to make successful and your mental health and your physical health.
Yeah. Life balance is so important, isn't it? You can really lose sight of that. I know that I was head down when I started, totally,
Hmm.
totally head down. So that's
Yeah.
that's great. That's a really good way to keep motivated too, isn't it?
Hmm.
So my next question to you is, what is the best advice you've received recently?
The best advice. Um, I think for me and starting to move towards looking at investors is to make sure it's the right fit.
Mm.
Quite often people are so interested in just getting something funded or getting their project going that they bring on people that don't align with their values. And that cannot maybe not end well for you. I talked to a potential friend or slash investor who was like, well, you could, who are you going to sell this to? Are you going to sell it to Facebook? And I was like, that's the exact opposite of what we want to do. Right? And so you have, because, I'm trying to support first in Canada, but then globally in other countries, support their economic growth and their tourism and their whatever. So I do not want to sell it to a global giant. And so that is a clear indicator that that's probably not the right fit as an investor.
Mm.
Good for advice, but not as an investor. So be very careful in who you bring on to work with you because your mission can get lost along the way if it's not the right fit.
That's really, really good advice. Thank you so much for that. And I think, the key word or words, no algorithm in your
Yep.
app, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, what are your, and I'm just talking about two or three, not all of
Mhm.
them. What are your favorite business tools, resources, and why?
Ooh, this may be a controversial thing
Is
right
it?
now, but
Oh, sounds good.
well, it depends. I guess it depends on who you ask, but AI.
I love AI.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, some people are against it, and I think there's ways that you can use it that aren't exploiting your customers or exploiting, but use it as a tool.
Yeah.
Talk to it, ask it questions you don't know. Hey, I don't know what I should do next. I've got my product, whatever. Type that in. It's like having a buddy. My husband named his. So you can, but real,
I know, don't tell me.
yeah, yeah. But like really use that as a tool to further your business or any of the questions you don't know. Like how do I put together a financial model? How do I do marketing? How do I do this? This is what my product is. And I think, like, I don't think we need more than one at this point because it is becoming very, very quickly the way for a small business to not need other people.
It's amazing. It's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. You can actually ask it to do anything, can't you?
Yeah. You can.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm trying to think if there's
I think
anything else.
AI is probably a huge one.
Yeah, I mean it ties into other things that you'll need to do as what depending on what your business is. I mean, I always need a spreadsheet.
Do you? I
Especially
hate spreadsheets.
I know,
I
yeah.
hate them.
But for financials, you need to be able to validate that you know how you're spending your money, what revenue's coming in order to get things like investors. And so with AI, it can be a huge help to you. You don't need that. Even with presentations, in presentations now, you don't need to know much of anything. You don't
Mm.
need to design anything. You can use AI that's built in to put these amazing things together.
I know it's incredible. It just saves so
Hmm.
much time. Thank you.
Does.
That's a really good resource that you mentioned there. So tell me, Jessica, what are your current goals and how are you striving to achieve them? Would that be investment or something else?
Yeah, investment is a big one. I think with investment becomes like shareholders. They are people now who want to drive towards revenue. I think my goal in parallel is actually get a good revenue feature and revenue streams within my app and my brand where I hold off on investors for as long as possible
Mm.
because again, they will have different goals than you most of the time, and they won't wait if you say, "Oh, we didn't make too much this month or this quarter."
Yeah.
You obviously you have instant pressure,
Yes.
and so the longer you can sort of say, "How do I get to a point where I am making revenue enough to continue my business and have control of it?"
Mm. That's a
Yeah.
really good question, isn't it? Do you have any
Mhm.
ideas?
For me, yes, I mean, for our business specifically, we've got two sides. We've got the app side where we're going to have some subscription-based features that will allow creators and small businesses like musicians and artists, plus, any kind of small business be seen and to be discovered. So
Yeah.
we're going back to being like people are intentionally discovering what I want to buy for Christmas, or new music that's happening in Canada. And so those kinds of subscription-based things will happen. But then on the other side of that is our brand. So our brand A is we want to partner with other Canadian companies across the country and do collaborated, any kind of collaborations or our brand plus their brand, or, we've got some really fun designs on our shop right now, very Canadian style brands with our little logo there, the Black Maple Tradings logo, which is our partner. And so we want to avoid advertising
Mm.
as much as we can, especially in the feeds where people are connecting.
Mm.
So we're trying all sorts of other revenue streams to sort of get away from that and just keep it protected.
That sounds amazing. It really does sound like you're going back to the beginning,
Yeah.
which which is incredible.
Mhm.
So, my next question to you is, are you currently running any promos, contests, or giveaways?
Well, right now, obviously, we're in Black Friday, Cyber Monday, mayhem. So there's a lot of sales happening, which you can access within the app. And it's open to everybody. It's not just for Canadians, again, or on our website, anow.ca. So if you want any kind of custom merchandise, that's there. But other than that, no, we're just heads down building.
That's great. Well, I can't wait to see it all over the world, including Australia. So, tell me, what advice would you give to other aspiring female entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think it's okay to not be liked
Ah, that's a good one.
because it can be in our nature to not want to rock the boat or upset things, and in doing that, you don't take the risks that other people might take to be successful. So, I mean, obviously, you don't want to upset the wrong parties, but I think it's okay to say, this is my mission and I am full bore ahead on it.
Mm,
And it's okay if not everybody likes it.
that's right. And it's okay to say no too.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. That's really great advice. Really great advice. And I think it comes with a healthy self-worth too.
Hmm.
It's
It
it's
does.
okay. It's okay not to be
Hmm.
liked. That's great
Yeah.
advice. Thank you. So, my last question to you, Jessica, and you did mention your website. How can we connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm available on LinkedIn. If you look up my name, I'd love to connect with people. If there's any way I can help, obviously I'm here for you and your audience. And then yeah, on the website or even download the app and come join the conversation. There's lots of fun things happening there.
It sounds great. So, what I'm going to do now is get specific. The app is in the App Store and it's EAEH exclamation mark.
Mhm.
Then we've got LinkedIn, which is under your name or the company name. Your name,
Both.
Jessica?
If you go to my name and you can find me linked to the company.
Great. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
And where else are you? You mentioned, what was
We
it?
are on our biggest social media right now seems to be Threads. And this is probably a good thing for your audience to know as well, is that that's the easiest platform that I've found to post a lot because it doesn't require images. and it allows you to connect through words.
Ah,
So that's where I've been having the most success.
okay.
And yeah, so I mean, feel free to follow along there. We're growing pretty quickly. We've got the flywheel has caught on, and so now we're getting a lot of new people following.
It
Um,
certainly will.
yeah, yeah, but really connect with people there. Instead of just broadcasting, find people that are saying things that you agree with and connect with them.
That's
It's the
great
best
advice.
way. Yeah.
That's great. Jessica, thank you so, so much for your time and your amazing advice. And I applaud you for the work you're doing for community and bringing things back to what really matters, us humans.
Exactly,
So thank you for
exactly.
being on the show today, and I wish you amazing success.
And right back at you. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye, Jessica. Thank you for tuning in to the Gotta Show podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, share, and we look forward to seeing you next time.